to female students because they don't give in to their demands.
Yeah, Esther. If you remember when the issue of sexual assault lecturers was really hot in the media space, we totally condemned it. And then, of course, we were so happy with the bill. So we had issues that the bill will have to be tweaked a bit. But let us even say where that bill is now, let it run by itself. So that we can still get some people that we need to get down. Look at this case you have mentioned now. Thank God that the university is responsive. Because mind you, not all universities are responsive. Some of them, because they want to protect their name.
Hello, Buki. Hello, Buki. Okay, we'll do well to try reconnecting with Buki. And I also have Ibinabo Dixon, who is just joining us. Good afternoon, Ibinabo.
Yeah, good afternoon, Esther. Good afternoon, Buki. Good afternoon, valued listeners. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here again. So this topic we are discussing, the professor in Ekiti State, this federal university, who is in the habit of always trying to sexually assault female students, throwing some kind of advances at them, and also making them fail when they do not give in to these demands. These things happen in most of our high institutions, but sometimes we don't get to hear all of these stories. And sometimes when we hear about them, they're either swept under the carpet or the students are too terrified to talk about it, so they don't lose maybe their grades or get missing scripts like you have in most schools and all of that.
Okay. First of all, let me quickly inform us that this Randy professor is on suspension. He has been suspended in the interim for extensive investigation into the allegation.
Yes.
Fine. So now looking at what is going on, you see, sometimes you ask yourself, where did these people come from? Because you see, sometimes you think in your head that, okay, a professor, erudite scholar, are you getting it? So there are so many things you attach to this personality, integrity, father figure, and everything. And in all of this man failed, and many others. Are you getting it? So now, why do we keep having these issues? Because when it comes to integrity, they're not consistent with integrity. They don't respect themselves. They are so randy that they would go after anything anything wearing skirts. Are you getting it? And for a lecturer who's supposed to be, a parent, the figure of a parent on campus.
Yes, it's still good morals.
You are the one that is, coming up with this act. I feel we are slacking a bit, concerning our sex for grade laws and all that, because you see, when you put a policy in place and there's no follow-up or there's no proper implementation, we will keep having people like this. Because after, when this video of sex for grade came out, then I think it was 2019 or when, it was like, thank goodness. But after this, we will stop hearing stories like this. And some people are still perpetrating this act. Why are they doing this? Because they are very sure that they won't get away with it.
So a certain lady who happens to be a student of a graduate of this same school, I've been seeing so many posts that she has been putting up that this particular lecturer made them go through a lot of things, and the way they even had to pass through school because of this particular lecturer. Another friend of hers made a post, and that one had to screenshot it and post on her own WhatsApp. Was that, this man, after everything I did, he's ending up. I'm very glad that this is happening to him and all of that. So everybody gets to see what they've actually been saying about this person.
Yes. You see, there was a seminar I attended I think it was in 2019. It was before COVID-19, and the question was, why do you do this? Why have you made yourself predators over your students? Students who are supposed to be under you to learn so much, apart from the classroom lectures.
Good character, good
exactly.
morals, good values.
So when you do all of these things, whatever happened to the ethical philosophies of your profession and the ethos of your profession? Whatever happened to it? So when people do things like this, you begin to wonder. Now, we are coming out to say education, that sector is dead. That sector needs to be revamped. How does it start? It starts from the primary school. You put a child in a primary school. The parents will go and tell teacher that my child cannot repeat. I cannot pay school fees 2 times. Are you getting it? For one class. Then you push this child
to another class.
That is one aspect of it. Then we have the other aspect that these students are very serious. They study and they graduate to the next level. That is the university, from secondary school to the university. And they're looking forward to graduating and, making, useful of whatever they have
read. Yeah.
You understand? And there are some people pitched here and there as predators, wanting to make sure that it's either you are with them in that school, you don't graduate, or it has gotten to a point, Esther, where if you feel that giving in to a lecturer, giving in to his advances, sexual advances would help you. This girl did. And it didn't work. Are you getting it? So what are we talking about? I am looking at ASU.
Okay.
When you go on strike and you have a list of your demands,
okay,
please endeavor to add to this to your list this part of the problem. Are you getting it? That there is need to decisively deal with lecturers like this.
Okay.
Because if we are crying that the system is poor, we have the structure, structurally it is poor, in the area of remuneration it is poor, everything is poor. What is that? What is going on with these lecturers too? Now, somebody was telling me that even if they put the desk there for you to go make your complaint and everything, that when you are walking into that office, the faces you meet,
they're not friendly.
They are so unfriendly that, whatever it is you have packaged to go and report will just, dry off like when you open a methylated spirit.
Talking about the desk you go to report, I remember a certain lady saying something amongst her friends, and I overheard what she was saying. She was trying to make an illustration of having issues in school, and you go to meet a counselor, and the person ends up telling, okay, she was having almost the same issue like this. Certain lecturer has been asking her to do this, do that, and she's not willing. Why would I want to do that? Now she goes to meet the counselor to say, okay, this person has been doing this, and the counselor goes, Tori Kini.
Is that a new thing?
The person now calls the lecturer like, so and so student, so matric number came to report you. Who does that?
Because they are all in this business together. They are all in the act of sexually abusing their students, and there's nobody to rescue these students. So it's either you join them or you fall out. Just like what happened to Kiki Modi. She had to leave school because she would not budge to the pressure of the lecturers. So, what are we saying here? It is not enough paying lip service to the desk. There's a desk. We have a desk.
Go and report.
Go and report. Who are the people behind the desk? How well have they been tutored and trained and counseled to know how to receive these students? Because if you want to go and make a report, it's enough courage for you to have. It's big enough for you to have summed up courage.
So even go, yes.
Exactly. And on getting to the entrance of the so-called desk, you realize that the faces you are seeing are so unfriendly that even if you have managed to walk up to them, you'll be saying something else.
Yes.
You cannot just be you cannot be coordinated. So what are we talking about here? You see, every generation that hands over good morals to the next generation is termed great generation. Are you a great generation? What are you handing over to the oncoming, to the generation behind you? Because these stories is so tiring. It makes you feel like all of this shout, all of these bills, all of these so-called laws, all of these so-called desks are just there for fancy.
Thank you, Binabo. Thank you. What are we doing? What are we handing over to the younger generation?
We keep passing the wrong signal.
Hello, Buki.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. And we're still discussing the case of this professor who is in the habit of sexually harassing his female students. Because looking at all of this, I'm very sure that this is just one in so many that he has done this to. Buki.
Obviously, it would have ruined a lot of people's lives, destiny and their chances, It's about mentioned Kiki. I mean, that's one that, and there are quite a lot, that is just there, and they're not talking about it. So we cannot continue to have this. I have everything Binabo said, and that's the truth. But would we now continue to, because the system is corrupted, we will no longer talk? These are the days that we just have to fight. One of the things that I would advise, because it's the era of technology, aside from doing the physical, to go into the office to lay a complaint.
Okay.
I'm aware that most of universities that are responsive to such, they have committees. That committee has members that have emails.
Okay.
And they should create a portal. So aside from you dropping your physical paper, you should also send it to every member of the committee and drop it on the portal. Why would you do? Just in case. Just in case. I mean, you are secretary and all that. All members of the committee, I will not assume that all the members of the committee are the same, because truly they have all their members, they are planted there. But I want to believe that a responsive VC will not pick such people. So, but ventures they have, maybe in a committee of 6 or 7, maybe 2 of them would be good.
Okay.
So if they get that, they will act on it. Because you can't continue to say because every system is corrupted, we will not talk. We've got to talk. And we've got to upgrade the ways we are doing things. So that's just my own advice. But I want to give kudos to this institution that they have raised the man, and let us see. And let's challenge all the other universities, tertiary institutions. Let them do what they need to protect students. They need to protect students.
Okay.
Students are crying and there is pain. And we can't continue to do this.
Okay.
Yes, we can't continue to do this.
Thank you, Buki. Thank you. It is 28 minutes to 1 on Women Radio 91.7. And if you're just joining us, this is Panorama. Panorama is where we have ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. And I've been speaking with Ibinabo Dixon and Buki Femi Ajala. Ibinabo, you have something to say?
Yes.
Okay.
We cannot stop talking about it. We must continue to talk about it. It's a long, hard quest, but we are not giving up. Okay. And then again, you see, every university board should understand that all these randy lecturers, they already they always make parallel plans to beat the rules. Like sometimes now they know that a student could come in with a device to record whatever activity might go on in their offices. So they have devised means. Somebody was telling me that no student will come to my office with a phone or anything or a laptop.
Imagine.
Are you getting it? It's almost like you're walking into a bank. Everything you are searched. So you cannot use any form of device to capture whatever it is they are doing or whatever it is you want to use against them. So what I want to say is that, see, if, like Buki said, the head of that school, the vice chancellor, if he is so determined to see the end of this act, whoever is held culpable, they should deal with it in a way that
severe punishment.
Do you understand? They should make so much noise. They should shame them publicly to the point that anybody that comes to stand against it should be termed complicit. Are you getting it? And they should be shamed, because you see, if you keep handling it with kids' glove, or let us put up a desk, let it not be that we are not responding to this thing. There should be a desk for mere formality's sake. We are going to keep having. I'm surprised that at this time, with all of the revelations we have had,
somebody's still doing the same thing.
Professor. Are you getting it? Do you know what it means to be a professor? So for you to come out and begin to abuse a student put in your care, somebody else was a supervisor, you had to twist the person to make her your supervisee, so that you can be having your sexual pleasures with her. And other students, some students are not bold enough to come out. Some of them are too shy. You know how they don't want to be shamed by the society. So they'll just keep quiet. After I've left the school, I leave him to God. So how long are we, definitely there's no way you can rub off, you can clean out, immorality in the world. But I mean, let there be a level that whoever wants to perpetrate this act, people will drop their heart for you that Bologbo, this route you went, now you are a correct, confirmed criminal. So there is need for universities to be very, very deliberate about this thing and stand their ground to delete from the list of staff in their schools all of these kind of people, whether you are a professor or you are a whatever it is you are.
Thank you, Binabo. To be part of the conversation, you can call us up on 07000 917 917. You can also send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. So there's this video of a security personnel who, according to the video, got into somebody's car. The person had committed no offense whatsoever, according to the video. And okay, when the police officer got into the car and the person started driving recklessly, and the officer had to call her for help. Now, there are two sides to this story. On a part, I kind of feel like, the driver was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. This is an officer of the law. Fine. On another angle, according to what was said in that video, the officer forcefully got into his car and he did nothing wrong. On what grounds did the officer get into his car?
Esther, is it right for an officer to get into somebody's car? Is it right? Because sometimes I think these people, their organs supposed to, every morning before they leave for their various points of whatever, they need to give them brief lectures. As I read this story this morning, it reminded me of somebody. Somebody told this thing happened. What I'm telling you, this particular story I'm going to narrate happened in 2012 or 2011, 2012, 11 or 13 max. This man said he was